Hey guys, this is Sherry with Sherry's Paint and Pad, and I am so sorry I couldn't be with you today to walk you through this process in person. However, we're going to do the next best thing and we're going to do a video for you, okay? This video can be paused to give you time to catch up. It can be replayed. Also, what you're going to need is everybody has their paint. You should have a regular green, white, red, black, lime green, pink, and brown. You also will need a cup of water to wash your brush out so that you can move on to another color, and a old rag or paper towel to dry your brush off, okay? All right, so to get started, first thing I want to do is we're going to paint our background, and that's going to be in between right here, the cup handle, and all the way around here, which is going to be black, okay? So I'm going to get my black paint, get my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start painting this black. And like I said, this video I'm going to go at a faster pace, of course, because I literally paint every day. But you guys can do this at your own pace. Pause the video and you can go on. Last time I did one of these videos, though, I don't know what was going on with my phone when I was recording it, but it broke it up into several different videos. So regardless, though, it will all be on this thumb drive that can be played. So no worries. We'll make sure you have everything that you need to do this with. I love this Gingerbread Man. He is so cute. I'm so glad y'all chose him. Okay. We're just going to do that. If you happen to get paint in the lines, don't worry about it. I mean, it's paint, y'all. Don't stress yourself out about perfection. There's no perfect art. Have fun with this. The whole point of it is to be stress-free and relaxing. If y'all happen to hear a dog barking in the video, I do have my little puppy in here with me, and my assistant went to the store, and if she comes back, of course she's gonna bark, and I'll pause the video, and that way you guys don't have to endure that. But I just wanted to let you know, just in case you do hear a dog barking, that's what it is. It's just my little puppy, Marina Monroe. You're going to get paint on your hands and on your nails and maybe even your jewelry. Don't worry about that. It comes off all of that. I will tell you though, this paint does not come out of your clothing. That's why you need to utilize the aprons that are enclosed in your kits to help protect your clothing, because it does not come out of your clothing, okay? Making sure I get up underneath my cup, right here, and within my handle. Okay. Another thing I've got here, there's a little bitty spot right here up underneath your gingerbread's arm. That is also going to be black, just that little bitty little hump, and you just get the edge of your brush in there and you'll get that. Okay, also you want to go around and you want to get your edges, and when I say edges, I am talking about, of course, not right here because that's a marshmallow, so but our black starts right here, so my edging right here is going to start right there, and I'm going to go ahead and come around and get my edging just to make it look more like a finished painting. I'm going to do that all the way around except for areas where there is no black on the front face. So for instance, where my cup is, I'm not going to do the black there, but I will do the black right here, if that makes sense. Your edge should match your front face color. And you're probably going to get paint on your hands whenever you do this process, and that's totally fine. It comes off with soap, water, baby wipe, any of that. Okay? Alright. So I have my black done. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use my cup of water that I have here, and I'm going to wash out my brush and dry my brush off so I can move on to my next color. Again, if you are still doing your black, go ahead and pause the video so that you guys get a chance to catch up, okay? I'm going to wipe the extra water off of it. I need to wash it, go in there one more time with it. Guys, don't just swish this around and stir the water with it. Get that brush down at the bottom of that cup and really scrub it good to get all that paint out of those bristles. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move on to my cup. I'm going to get my dark green. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to kind of lay it like this. That way you can see it. That way I don't have to hold it up while I'm doing this. The top part, the top rim of my cup right here is going to be the dark green, and the bottom rim of my cup is going to be the dark green. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. Making sure that I use long, consistent brush strokes will make sure that I don't show any of my brush marks. That helps eliminate that. Okay, so I have my top done. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do my bottom. If you notice, I'm not doing my handle quite yet. There's going to be a little trickery to that, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Smoothing out my brush lines. And I want to make sure I get the edge of that cup. Not the marshmallows, just the edge of the cup. And again, I'm going to smooth out my lines, making sure that they are nice and smooth from one side to the other. All right. Next thing I want to do is like my handle right here. Like I said, there's a little bit of trickery to this. If you notice, this kind of goes in a little bit of a curve, okay? So I'm going to follow that curve over. So I'm going to do a little line of the darker green right about there. And then I'm going to paint this bottom portion of it in the dark green. The bottom portion of my cup. I'm going to paint it in this lime green. And I am actually pulling in a little bit of my black, which is totally fine because I actually like adding in shades and shadows, so it doesn't bother me one bit. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that in just in case you guys do as well. You can see that it's really not that big of a deal, and just kind of enjoy it and walk through it. And I'll bring it in closer so that you can see that. I did pull in some of that black, but as you can see, it just kind of gives it its shadow. So I'm totally cool with that. I love it. All right. So, and paint on my hands, no problem. I'm not going to stress out about that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash that green out of my brush. Alright, we're going to set that cut to the side, set our dark green to the side, and I'm going to bring my lime green over. Okay? So I've got my lime green, and of course my lime green is going to go into the center part here. Same concept. If you happen to grab some of that dark green whenever you're coming through here, don't stress out about that. Just kind of work it going back and forth into the lime green and let it just kind of function as like a little shadow. If anything, it just kind of pulls those two colors in together to make it look more natural. In your kits, I should have gone over that to begin with. In your kits, you should have a brush, a couple of sponges. If you want to use sponges, you can use some sponges on the black. If you don't want to wash your brush out as much, it's totally up to you. You should also have an apron, and you should have the colors that I had mentioned earlier. We'll go ahead and finish that on around my handle. And I'm going to smooth out those paint lines. That way they're nice and smooth. That way you cannot see my brush strokes one end to the other. All right, when I'm done with that, I'm going to wash my brush. And like I said before, and I'm sure you have already at this point, I do paint pretty quickly. This video can be paused so that you can watch it, replay it, start it, whatever you need to do. Okay? Get my rag or paper towel, wash off the extra water off of my bristles. I'm going to put that lime green to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my brown. I'm going to bring my brown over. Of course, my brown is going to go into my Gingerbread Man. Go ahead and paint him. All right. See, I told you were going to hear a bark. It's okay. Got that taken care of. All right, so we're back on our Gingerbread Man. I'm going to go ahead and finish painting him brown. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas break. Give you a chance to rejuvenate, relax a little bit. I'm going to tell you, teachers are special. Y'all are some special people. Because ain't no way. I go to some of these schools and I paint with the kids, and oh, they're so sweet. But the beauty of that is I get to leave and come back home and chill out. Maybe have a glass of wine or something like that. You guys are there. Like, y'all are special. And I thank you for everything that y'all do. You know, there's two professions that I just believe that can't be matched, and that is teachers and nurses. Of course, CNAs, and you know that goes in with that too, because that's just y'all are wonderful people. Can't say it enough. Okay, about to finish up on my gingerbread man. All right, got him painted. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash my brush out so I can move on to my next color, which is, of course, is going to be white. My cream, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat of white. Marshmallows are going to be white, and my candy canes. I know they're already white, but believe me when I tell you, by the time you put that white paint on there, you will clearly see a difference in the white. So we do need to go ahead and paint it white. I know that sounds counter, you know, intuitive, but we got to do it. All right, so I'm going to start off with my marshmallows. Go ahead and paint them white. If your black runs into that, that's up to you. It can be a roasted marshmallow. Don't you stress out about none of that. Not really going to worry so much about getting my edges in the white, simply because that is already white and it's not on the front of the canvas. So I'm not really going to stress out too much about that. Okay. I'll come up here and go ahead and get my candy canes. There is a fly in my studio that's going to drive me nuts. And like, why do we have flies in the winter? It has been too hot. Things need to go and die off. Okay, now I have my candy canes. I'm going to go ahead and get my cream. Okay. Now, while your cream is good and wet, we want to go ahead and put in a little bit of brown in that cream along the edges, just to kind of give it a little bit of shadowing and shading. So I'm going to go into my brush. I'm going to get a little bit of white on my brush. I'm going to get a little bit of brown. Just when I say a little bit, I'm talking about itty bitty teeny bit. See? Y'all see that little bit? Just a little bit, okay? And I'm going to come along the outer rim here into my white, and I'm just going to kind of put some of that brown in there to make it look creamy. Get a little bit more brown. The thing is about this brown, you can always add more, but once it's on there, you cannot take it off. So start off with just a small amount till you get your desired amount that you want on there. Okay. All right. I'm going to take some along this side here. And if you want to, you can. I'm going to go ahead and I just want to do light brushing, just to give a little bit of light brushing of cream in my cream here. Okay. There we go. And you can see that. All right. Go ahead and wash that out of my brush. All right. Let's see. Put my brown to the side. All right. So our candy cane and our marshmallows are still too wet to do anything with that, but we can move on and start doing the face to our gingerbread man. All right. So he has 2 black eyes. Now your brushes are too big to do the eyes with. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the tips of our brush to do that. So I'm going to get some black. I'm going to put it on the tip of my brush, just like this. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do one eye. And I'm just going to kind of do it in a circular motion like that. And there you go. I've got one eye. Okay. I'm going to get more black on my brush. And I'm going to go across from that and I'm going to go ahead and give him a second eye. Simple enough. I took off some of my brown with my finger when it touched down. I'm going to wash that off. And I'm going to touch up my brown where I just touched it with my finger. Right here on my neck. There we go. Let me fix that. Okay. All right, he has 2 eyebrows. Okay. Now, the way we're going to do that is I'm going to get some black on my brush. But instead of taking my brush and pressing it down flat, I'm going to hold it up on its edge like this, okay? Hold it up on the edge. You want that thin line. And I'm going to come across here. And I'm just going to set it down, pick up, and set it down, pick up. And if you look, they are diagonal. All I do is just set it down and pick up. You're not moving it, just set it down and pick up. Okay? He also has a sweet little face, so I'm going to go ahead, put a little bit of black on my brush, and I'm going to come here, again, standing my brush up, I'm going to do a thin little smile right there. I need to touch that up on that side. There we go. Just like so. All right, so I'm going to wash that black off of my brush. Then he also has 2 little heart buttons on his chest, but they're in pink. Again, we're going to use the tip of our brush right here to do that because our brush is really too big. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some pink on that tip of my brush. And I'm going to come right here and I'm going to do a little heart with that tip. And then we'll fill that little heart in. This is his little buttons. Okay, he's going to have 2 of these. I'm going to come right below that one and I'm going to do another one. Okay, I'm going to fill that in. Okay. He also has 2 little pink cheeks. So I'm going to come up over here and I'm going to do a little circle for those little pink cheeks. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to wipe off that tip of my brush. And on his little arms, he's got little white lines like the little gingerbread man do. And this brush right here, the bristle's still a little bit too wide for me to do that because he just has little arms. So I'm going to use this tip of my brush again, and I'm going to use the white. So I'm going to get some white on my brush, and I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to do a little zigzag. Of course, that's going to take me a couple of times to really get that little zigzag. There we go. Got it. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side using the tip. All right, there we go. We got that. Okay, gonna wipe that off. Let's go ahead and add a couple little white accents into our cup. Again, I'm gonna put some white on my brush, just like this, and you want your brush, again, standing up. You want those thin lines, so we're gonna stand our brush up. We're not gonna paint flat, okay? I'm gonna come across the top here. And I'm just going to do a thin line. I'm going to work that going back and forth, just kind of working that white into that green that I just did. Do the same thing right below here on this line. I'm just going to go back and forth, just working that white line into that green. Again, right down here, we're just adding in some accent lines here, friends. I'll do one more right here at the bottom, just for giggles. And then I'm going to kind of do a little going around my handle here. There we go. Okay. All right. Now at this point, my marshmallows and my black is still wet, my marshmallow is still wet, and my candy canes are still wet. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to use the hair dryer. You guys probably are pausing the video, catching up, so some of this may be already dry for you. If not, give yourself just a short break, maybe get something to drink. If you have snacks there, get you a snack. Help yourself to that for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll finish that up, okay? All right, guys, mine is now good and dry, so great. So now I'm going to work on my candy cane part. I'm going to get some red over here. Now this part right here, we're just going to go there, and we're just going to do little red strips going down our candy cane. I'm going to start here at the bottom on this one. I'm just going to go from one end to the other. There we go. I'm going to skip a space. One end to the other. And we're going to do that going all the way up our candy cane. And of course, the moment we start getting around that curve, we're going to have to kind of curve it a little. Not a problem. This curve, like I said, I'm having to curve it some. It may take a little bit extra effort on it, but we got it. All right. Okay, come over to my other candy cane. I'm going to do the same. I kind of want this to be a little bit more off-center than the other, a little bit to where it doesn't quite match up with the lines. Let's see here. I'm going to come across here. We're just going to do all of our lines on this candy cane. And again, when we get to the top of it, we're going to need to curve it a little. And again, as you can see, I'm having to turn my canvas as I'm curving on the candy cane. That is totally fine. So there we go. We got that done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash that red out of my brush. Now that red can be hard to get out, so really, really work hard to get that out, okay? All right. Next thing I'm going to do my face on my marshmallows. Now again, this brush is too big to do that, so again, I'm going to use the tip of my brush. Get my black. All right, this one right here, it's got two little eyes, so I'm going to do two little circles here. Okay. While I'm doing my circles, I'm going to go ahead and put eyes on all of my little marshmallows. Go. Okay. All right, then he has a little mouth. And that little mouth, I'm going to do a line coming across. And then it kind of swoops down and comes back up to meet. And there we go. Okay. This one here, I'm going to do the line coming across, and then I'm going to swoop it down to where it meets. Now, my other marshmallow does not have a mouth. He's kind of like cut off there. No problem. All right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wipe off the tip of my knife. I mean, not knife. Earlier today, I was doing a palette knife painting. So I'm going to wipe off the tip of my brush. And I'm going to dip it into my white just a little bit. And inside my little gingerbread eye, I'm going to put a little white dot there. Okay? Same thing for the other one. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put me a little white dot there. There we go. Oh my goodness, he's looking so cute. All right? I'm going to wipe that off. Now I'm going to work on my star. So I'm using the actual bristle part of my brush. I'm going to get some white on here. And again, I'm going to be standing my brush up. Instead of holding it down flat brushing, I'm going to be standing it up. Okay? I'm going to come over in this corner and I'm going to come down and I'm going to create a star. So I'm just going to come straight down. And then I'm going to do an X. Straight down there. I want that to come down a little further. There we go. All right. I'm going to come over to this side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come straight down. And then I'm going to create an X. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit smaller one right here. Straight down. Create an X. All right, very good. If you want to add any more stars anywhere else on your painting, you're welcome to, but that's all that's in the original picture, so that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to wash out my brush. Now, it does have little white dots, kind of like creating a night sky, like stars, kind of speckled a little bit. So with that there, real simple and easy. Again, I'm just going to use the tip of my brush here. I'm going to dip it into my white. And I'm just going to kind of come in here and randomly put in little white dots in my painting. You can call it starry night. You can call it snow. You can call those snowflakes instead of stars. You know, it's whatever you want to do. I am taking my tip of my brush to my white paint before each dot because I want to make sure I have a good crisp dot there. I do not recommend that you stand your canvas up when you're doing this because this paint may cause your paint to run. down your canvas. So be mindful of that. This is so cute. All right, my friends. And there you go. You got it. How adorable is that? I love this. Thank you so much for reaching out to me and allowing me to create these kits for you. I would love to see pictures of what your creations looks like. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Enjoy your break and give you a chance to just rest, rejuvenate, and be refreshed when you come back with the students. Thank you again, and Merry Christmas.